Hello! Oh my gosh. Hello everyone. What's up? What is up? I'm gonna wait for a good, 5 minutes or so, to see if anyone pops in. In today's live, I am really gonna be going in on on my current state of life and what is going on with the future of my life. And yeah, but we're gonna wait like a good 3 4 5 minutes to see if anyone wants to join. Hey, one person watching, if you want to say hey in the chat, tell me what time it is where you are, because I love knowing that. It's always so fun. um but yeah, before I get hella into it, sorry that I'm a little late. First of all, um sorry, I'm literally just posting a story. I apologize for being distracted. Um, so I'm a little late because your girl had a freaking dream. And I don't know how y'all feel about dreams, but for me, I don't like dreams. Like, I don't like having dreams ever at all. To me, they make me just so uncomfortable, and they're not pleasant. Like, okay, anyways, the point being is I had a really freaky dream. And, gosh, like, it makes my heart kind of race just thinking about it, like, which is just not it. Basically, I was like, how do I put this? I was like in a apartment or something like that, in a building, and something was going on. All this commotion was happening, and after that, like, there was just this person. Trigger warning: if like horror-y stuff kind of scares you, mute me for like a couple minutes or something. But oh my gosh, I just don't even like thinking about it. And so I realized that the person that was like scary and stuff was still like watching. Oh my gosh, this is freaking weird. Was still there. And then after that, I like call the cops. I'm like, okay, Kristine, put this into your own hands. Like, this is ridiculous. So I decide to like run out. I don't know where I run, but like a bunch of people are terrified. It's not just me. So then we're running on the street, and then all of a sudden one like person shouts, like, yeah, guy in the orange. It's the person in the orange. And that person in the orange was like freaking close to me. Not close, but like if we're talking the span of a street, like, and lots of people are dispersed away, pretty close to me. Anyways, I was just kind of like standing there. They say it's the person in the orange. I see the person in the orange right next to me. So I got freaking terrified. So I start sprinting. But at this point, like, I knew, like, I was just so close to the person that like the person was gonna get me. And so then I just freaking book it into these trees. I hide under this like fat trunk. And then I find, like, if any of y'all have watched Big Brother and y'all know about like how there's like a head of household and one person gets evicted, so like one person leaves the competition every week, but they all have a competition in the middle of the week to get this veto, where if they get nominated to be kicked out, they can veto it so they stay in the house. I don't know if that makes any sense. But I basically found that thing, that one thing, and my heart was racing so much how I found it. Hey, another person watching. I'm just talking about my dream, and then we'll get into the juice, the meat of this episode, or it's not episode, this. Um, and so I was just kind of like, heart was pumping, and I grabbed the thing that basically saves my life. And so I'm like hiding in this tree, and I can see like a little crack. And then the guy like hands me this thing that I think basically means that I'm dead. And in return, I give him back like the veto. Like, it was like a little coin, like a little chip. Give it back to the person. And then they're like, oh, dang it. Like, you're kidding me, right? Like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my gosh, like I could have been gone. I could have been gone, and I was terrified. I was literally terrified, y'all. Um, okay, yeah. Yeah, that was basically, I think, my dream. I think that was the majority part of my dream, I think. But like I'm over it. Let's move on. Why does my hair look just so awful right now? Anyways, I made some lunch. If you're wondering, I have some air fried potatoes, like baby potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes, the purple ones, and then, or I think those are Japanese sweet potato. I think the purple potatoes are Japanese sweet potatoes. I could be so wrong. And then some tuna. So I'm gonna be munching on this while I chat. Oh my gosh, it's already been like 6 minutes of me just talking. Wild. Anyways, meat and potatoes of this episode. Potatoes. I'm eating potatoes. Once again, if you want to chat in the chat box at any moment, at any time, questions, reactions, go for it. I just talked about my scary ass dream, and so that's why this live was delayed by like 15 minutes, because I was lying in my bed, terrified to get up. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, I just don't like dreams. Like, I would much rather just not have any dreams, because the like 1 out of 10 chance that I have a good dream, it's not even worth it. And then there are so many other dreams where they just make you think. I already think a lot, so I don't need to think more, like deeper meaning type stuff. I don't care for that. And then the bad dreams, the scary dreams, I'm not into that either. So like, I'm not really a fan of dreaming, but yeah, so I guess like let's get into this already, because I'm not gonna be I don't know. I'm delaying it for sure because it's kind of weird, but the real ones that are watching this right now are the real ones that are going to know and that are going to be super updated on my life, and I appreciate y'all for being here. Alrighty. 3 watches. Alrighty. If you want to like say hey in the chat or something, tell me what time it is where you are. I love to know that stuff. I just quickly talked about my dream for the past 7 minutes, but we're getting into what I need to talk about right here, right now. Alrighty. No more delaying, no more procrastinating as I continue to eat my lunch and procrastinate. All right. I'll get into it. I promise. So basically, as you all know, your girl is not in school. I'm not in college. I'm not in university. I'm not doing any of that. And so, okay, first of all, hey, Angel Poop. Hey, hi, Nia or Naya. I'm so sorry for the pronunciation. But hey, it's 5:25 p.m. where I live. Sick. Awesome. I'm happy that's not too late or too early. But yeah, thanks for saying hey in the chat. Let's get into this. So y'all know that I don't go to university. I don't go to college. And oh, sick. Y'all are at the same time zone. That's so cool. Anyways, y'all know that I'm not in school. And I made that decision to not go to school. To be honest with you, I never expected it. When I was younger, like young, I was a freaking hardworking, studious child that, to be honest, I was one of those kids that, but at the same time, I also enjoyed school. Like, I was one of those kids that enjoyed being at school, being in the environment of learning. And then as I grew up, I worked really, really hard at school until like the 8th grade, and that's just a story for a different time. But I never saw myself going into university. But when I was younger, I was just really a hardworking student. And so when time, and if you're wondering, I'm 20 now, so it's been a bit since high school. But for my 11th and 12th year of high school, I decided to do it online. But long story short, your girl dropped out. I didn't drop out. I resigned from my classes. And I never wanted to talk about that on YouTube because I didn't want to be one of those people that promoted dropping out of school, whether yeah, I know, I look 15, I look 12, I can look 10 if like I look 10. Yeah, I'm 20. Anyways, so I was just kind of going about life and doing my thing, and so I never wanted to talk about leaving high school on YouTube because I just didn't want to promote that. Um, I don't want to like the whole debate on like whether we're talking now like college, dropping out of high school, especially dropping out of college. I feel like so many people like long for those videos because it's like, what do I do? Like, this is such a big step. This is so like impactful and this, that, and the other. And I know I don't want to be like, oh, since I dropped out, you can drop out too. Or like, since I dropped out, like, you'll be okay. I am a huge supporter of just do what you want to do with your life. Do what you want to do with your life. You'll figure it out along the way. And like, I don't want me dropping out to discourage y'all because I don't know, maybe y'all are in school. Freaking work hard. If you're in school right now, work with intention, work with a purpose, and do your thing. But point being is I dropped out of high school. Okay. I dropped out of high school. So the thing was, I did online school my 11th and 12th year. I did a couple classes like here and there, to be honest with you. And it wasn't until last year, like May or June, when I had to sit down with my mom and I was like, yo, mom, this school thing ain't making me happy. I am sad. I'm really sad. And it is not. I don't care for this. I don't care to read these. Once again, this is going to be a little negative on school, but these were just my emotions. I don't want to read all these dumb books. I don't care about all these science things. Like, I don't care. Like, nothing within me cared about it. It made me sad. It made me feel like my life felt like just so unfulfilled and just not it. Point being, I didn't want to be in school, and I'm thankful that I have amazing parents that they will listen and hear me out at least. You know, their opinion was, you know, they prefer me to finish my high school education, but they understood where I was coming from, or at least they tried to understand where I was coming from. So with that being said, I basically stopped doing school from May, June of 2020. I just gone, like literally I had the conversation with my mom next day. Like it literally just went, whoop, school, yeah, don't do it anymore. Even though I was still technically enrolled in the online school that I was in. So then, after I decided to not do that, you might be wondering, so what did you do? Like, what did you do? Or no, before I get into that, May, June 2020, mentally I was completely checked out, but I was still registered in the school that I was in. Then November 2020 comes around and I get an email that's like, yo, what's poppin'? You don't do your classes. And then that's when I withdrew, as I like to say it. I withdrew from my classes and farewell to the school that I was at. So November 2020 was technically, I guess, the point where I withdrew from my classes, withdrew from high school. Okay. I just feel like dropout just has such a negative connotation and just too much of a buzzword. Like it's too much attention. Anyways. But I was mentally checked out in May 2020, June 2020. And so I think it was June 2020. And so with that being said, you might be like, what did you do then? Like, why did you do that? So like I said, I just was really unhappy, wasn't interested whatsoever. And to be completely honest, y'all might think it's really dumb of me. Y'all might think like, this is stupid. You're delusional, girl. Like, why'd you do that? The point being is, YouTube was my passion and it still is. And I feel like it's going to be my passion like for a long ass time. And I wanted, like, the only thing in my heart that I wanted to do was pursue YouTube and was to just go full force, focus on YouTube, do what I love to do, which is making videos, editing videos, getting them up to y'all, just doing it. Like I love doing all that. And so I just wanted to have a point in my life where I was fully devoted to doing that. At the time, I honestly had like less than 1,000 subscribers, and like it wasn't stable whatsoever. And it wasn't that I was looking to go like to start like making a bunch of money. It was more so like I just had this fire, this desire, this passion in my heart that it needed to be fulfilled. Like it needed to be fulfilled. And so that's what I did. Focused on YouTube. I focused on just developing more of this social media thing. And yeah, now it's April 2021, almost May. And so I was just doing that, and within that period of time, like I just was so dedicated to making YouTube videos. I got out the Instagram for y'all, at its underscore time underscore y'all for Instagram, and I also started a podcast. If y'all don't know yet, at its time y'all podcast on Instagram. But the point being is that was that. And I was truly just living life, right? I'm doing what I love to do. And so that kind of brings me to now, this current moment. And I think the fact that I'm kind of wrapping up on 1 year of me doing this and focusing so heavily on this, a couple days ago, I was thinking, I guess you could say, or really no, thoughts just bombarded my brain. That's a much better way to say it. Thoughts just came through, flooding through my brain, and it got me thinking. It got me overwhelmed. I literally wanted to cry because I was just so overwhelmed by a bunch of thoughts. And so I was like, why am I feeling this way? Like recently life has been so good. Recently we released the podcast, everything was great, right? And I'm pursuing things, I'm going full force, and things are awesome. I'm about to reach 2K on YouTube, which is wild, and I'm so thankful. But the fact is, I was just on a good wave until all these thoughts started bombarding me. And oh my goodness, it was such an overwhelming day. It was ridiculous for me personally. Whenever I have overwhelming days, bombarding thoughts, constant thoughts, one thought evolves into like 5 other thoughts, and then those 5 other thoughts evolve into more thoughts. I like to open like a documents thing, like a document on your computer or something, notes app, and just start typing out everything, because I can't journal it because my thoughts are just too fast for my fingers. And so I wrote a bunch down, and basically I came to the realization, I came to a point where I was like, okay, like, first of all, two realizations. Let's do it the first one, because I feel like that's just a more interesting one. The realization that probably since I was 17, 18 years old, just wanted to be able to live a life where I was just happy with my life. Like, I just want to live a life where I'm doing things that make me happy, where I'm pursuing things that make me happy, not pursuing things because of societal pressure, because of peers, because of family. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, when I dropped out of high school, like, my parents weren't like gung-ho. They weren't ecstatic about that decision, but I had to make that decision for myself. And so the fact is, I kind of was like sitting with myself, and I was like, I'm actually so happy with where my life is at. And I'm so happy that like I needed to take that time to create the life that I wanted to live. Like, y'all, this is basically my day. I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, 5 a.m. And then I drive my mom to work. I've been driving my parents to work because of the current state of the world, and I don't want them taking public transportation. So I drive my mom to work. Then I go for a morning run. A morning walk. I'm not that fit. A morning walk. I'm literally out in the earth at like walking at 7 a.m. By 7 a.m., like I am out on my walk, and I walk for an hour long. I love it. It's so good for me, and it's just been such a it's a good amount of exercise and also a good amount of relaxing time. I love going my walk. Then I'll come home after having like a nice drive coming back home. I'll sit down, I'll journal. It's been so good. Just journal. And it doesn't even have to be long. I'll journal. I'll take the time for me to journal. And then I hop right into doing anything that has to do with YouTube, whether that's editing a video, editing a podcast, whatever. You don't really need to get into that, but just work in general. Then I kind of go throughout my day, doing what I love. And yeah, I do that I love. I guess what you could say is my morning. My mornings have been very nicely curated to what I want them to be. And so it just sets me up for such a good rest of my day. It's like I literally love waking up. And I know, I don't want to get too into this, but I know that there are definitely times in life where you just don't feel like waking up. You don't feel like getting out of bed. And I know how that feels. And I'm thankful to say that I don't feel that way anymore. And so I was sitting with myself and I was like, damn, I love my life. Like I'm so thankful for the life that I'm living. Like I love it. I love it. And I'm so blessed and grateful and privileged to say that I love my life. And so I was like, yeah, like I have basically the foundations of what I want my life to be. I have it. I'm focused on YouTube. I have it. I'm focused on doing my podcast. I have it. Like I fulfilled the passion within me to throw myself at YouTube and to do what I wanted to do and to do what I love to do. And so it kind of left this feeling like a hole in my heart of like, what next? And I want to touch on this idea of what next because I think we all live in this what next culture. We all just want to go on what's next. And I'm never like that. I literally have lived every single day of my life, day to day for the past year. Honestly, for the past like 4 years, I feel. Day to day. I don't like planning too much. I don't like thinking ahead too much. I like to stay in tune with myself, stay in tune with what I want, stay in tune with what I want to do, with what makes me happy, with what doesn't make me happy anymore, and continue to live my life as those things change and evolve, right? So I was just sitting there. I was like, so what am I like? I just feel like I have all these things under wrap. Like I have all these things, and so what else? Like why do I feel so like? I want to choose the right word for this because I don't want to use something so like dramatic. Why do I feel like I just have more to reach? And so I was thinking to myself like, yeah, as much as this is a goal, as much as YouTube and doing social media and this lifestyle is a goal of mine to attain, I have other goals. And those goals kind of seemed a little bit attractive all of a sudden. Like I was like, I love doing social media so much, but all of a sudden these other goals, I want to start implementing those into my life. Like I want to take those, I want to continue to create the life that I love and the life that I want to live every single day, as I have been doing for the past couple years of my life. I have the building blocks. I have what I love to do. Why not add another thing that I would love to pursue? Why not add another thing that, at least right now, I think would make me happy and I think would make me like, I'll feel alive in life. Because that's, for me, what I want to do. Why? Like, that's it. So if you're wondering what's that thing? What's that thing you want to put back in your life? A little munching break because I've been talking for a bit. Neha K says, you're brave for pursuing your passion. That's something that some people aren't even brave enough to do. The decision to withdraw from classes makes complete sense since you were unhappy. Thanks. Thanks for seeing it that way, because I know a lot of people can be a little touchy on that topic. But yeah, And the fact is, I didn't want to be one of those people that didn't want to try. Y'all, if I could encourage you real quick before I get into what I want to do with my future, that sounds, I don't like speaking that way, but what I want to implement into my life to continue to enhance it. I don't think people realize the power in trying. In my heart, there's no such thing as failing. Honestly, there are two points in life where I feel like you failed. The first point in life is when you are emotional, emotions are running high, you're crying in your bed on the floor, and you're like, oh, I'm such a failure. But you know that feeling will pass. So technically, you're not even a failure. Second is when you try something, you're doing something, but you're not actually learning. You haven't gained or attained anything from your experience, anything from the situation. To me, that's like failure. But y'all, there is so much goodness and potential in trying. Like, I feel like so many people are just scared to look like scared to look like things in their life are going everywhere, or they don't have a plan, or they don't have people are scared to not look put together, which is an ego thing, and that's completely fine. We all have an ego, but I guess mine, I just don't care. Like, I don't care to look like the dumbest person in the room. I don't care to look like that person that's like, what's that girl doing? Like, I hope she'll be okay in life. Like, I don't care if people judge me in that way, but the point is, please, if I can encourage you to do something, try the one thing, even if it's scary, hella intimidating, you don't think you're good enough, you don't think you'll make it, try. Don't say you can't until you I dare you, prove to yourself that you can't. Prove to yourself that you can't. Don't just say I can't. Don't just predetermine, yeah, I can't do that, I'm not good enough for that. I dare you to prove that you actually can't do it. Anyways, with that being said, I was sitting there and I was like, what else could I do to enhance my life of mine that I love so much, that I've created? And honestly, I'm really happy that I have. All of a sudden, school looked hella attractive, which is so wild for me to say. Because when I dropped out in November of 2020, when I mentally checked out in May or June of 2020, I honestly didn't see myself going back to school for like a couple of years, if I'm being quite honest. Like, I did not know that it would be this fast, that my heart I actually want to be in school. Like, I I want to read the dumb books. I want to learn about the stuff in science that I don't think will help me. It's really freaking weird. Like, I want to be in that environment. Like, I want a degree. A year ago, like, I literally couldn't care less about finishing my high school education. So now me sitting here almost a year later saying, I low-key kind of want to get a degree. The thing is, I want y'all to know, I never bashed school completely. I just knew that a year ago, at that point in my life, I was just not ready to beat it. Like, I didn't want to be in school. That didn't mean that I don't like school or I am against school. I just didn't want to be in school at that point of my life. Now, a year later, I'm like, why is school looking like a nice goal to reach? Like, why? Like, why? And this whole school thing kind of popped up in like February or so, where school started looking a little bit more attractive. And that's once again, I just can't help but say that it's just so wild to say, because as a person that withdrew from her classes, like, now I want to be back at school, like, what? And so with that being said, around February, it kind of just like sparked one day because I watched this movie about a neurosurgeon, and I was like, oh my gosh, that must have taken so much work, so much hard work, so much focus, so much effort. And I just got really inspired to. I was like, oh my god, like, I just want to be that smart. I just want to be that smart. And so during this time of all my thoughts, I kind of thought to myself, like, damn, like, wow, school just looks good. And I was like, for some odd reason, all of a sudden, I have thought of and I've considered so many different career paths, not career paths, degree paths for going to school, going to college, university, whatever. All of a sudden, y'all, I've thought of becoming a helicopter pilot. I thought about going into psychology. I've thought about going into um real estate. I've thought about going into random ass things. I thought about becoming a pediatrician. I don't even like science, but I was like, let's become a pediatrician. Anyways, I was like, I want to do political science. Like for some odd reason, it felt so right. Like all of a sudden my path felt so clear. And I want to touch on that a little bit. Nothing will ever feel right. I say right because there's not really another word to describe that feeling. But nothing ever in life will ever feel right. You just make the decision to do it, you know, and you have your intuition that's like kind of leading you. But I kid you not, there's no such thing in this earth that's like this is the right way to go. No, I kid you not. Anyways, so I was like, this just feels good. Like I don't know why. So basically, there was like this thing. Fun fact: I love like the UFC, and I love oh my gosh. Hey girl, what's up? I love the UFC. I don't know why. Like I literally don't know why. But like one of the fighters like said a comment that y'all are gonna think I'm so dumb. Y'all are gonna think I'm so dumb. But once again, I don't care if I look like the dumbest person in the room. I am probably the dumbest person in the room, and that's that. Anyways, she talked about something about communism, and I was like, I was sitting in my chair, and I was like, I don't even know what what is wrong? I've been talking for a lot. I feel like I've been talking really, really fast, so I'm sorry. I don't even know what communism is. And I just felt so dumb in that moment. So dumb. And I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, I should know what communism is. It's just such a like everyone knows what communism like anyways, I just felt really dumb. And so all of a sudden going into political science just made the world of sense to me. Like I was just like, I gotta do this. And so I looked at like a local community college, looked at the courses for what I would get doing a political science degree, and I was like, yeah, I like this. Like I feel this, you know, like I like what I see. I like the courses that I'm going to take. And once again, coming from someone who withdrew from high school and wanting to pursue social media, then all of a sudden coming to a little moment where I was like, I want to do political science. Very strange. Life is wild. Life is wild. Okay, life is wild. Anyways, you might be like, okay, Kristine, so how the frick do you plan on going to college, going to university for this political science stuff if you haven't finished high school? Like, how does 1 + 1 = 2? Like, how are you gonna make that work? To be honest, I gave the same answer a year ago. I'll figure it out. School's always like one of my big points when I decided to stop doing high school a year ago was the fact that school is always going to be there. School is always going to be there, no matter what. And so, with that being said, like, I'll figure it out. So, I want to go into political science. I'm a high school dropout that wants to go into political science. And how am I going to do it? I don't know. But I honestly hope to implement it. Like, I hope a year from now, like, I'm actively pursuing this political science degree. And I also want to start small I don't know whether I'm gonna have to. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to get in to do it, but once again, I'll figure it out. Like I hope a year from now, I'm like really into this degree, and I hope that I honestly want to get like an associate's. I don't know what school's like where you are, but a bachelor's degree is 4 years of college, university. An associate's degree is 2 years of college or university. And I want to start small and probably just focus on 2 years. And then if I want to get a bachelor's, do the next 2 years. But I think I want to start small, aim small, and do that. One semester at a time, as I've been saying, I'm living life one day at a time. So, one day at a time. Point being is, I don't know how I'm going to implement it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll figure it out. Like, I'll figure it out. And that's the beauty of life. We just figure it out. We just figure it out. And we'll be okay. Okay? We'll be okay. It's also wild that, like, a year ago, the thought about writing a paper, this is going to sound so dramatic. Yes, I get it. I'm privileged to be able to go to school. School is so accessible to me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that I'm complaining about this. But I would literally sit there and be like, I don't want to write a paper. Like, I don't want to go to school because I don't want to write a paper. Obviously, it's not actually because I don't want to go to school because I don't want to write a paper. But, like, I kid you not. I was just like, I don't want to write these papers. Like, it sounds so intimidating to me. Like, it sounds intimidating. Bouncing back on the topic of trying. Don't say you can't do it. Prove to yourself that you can't do it. I dare you to prove to yourself that you can't do it. And that's basically what I'm telling myself. Honestly, it's been a bit since I've done anything school related. And to be honest, I'm terrified. As much as it is, like, I want to implement this into my life. I think this will be a great, like, time in my life. I'm terrified. I am terrified to go back to school. I'm terrified because I don't know how that really works anymore. I just feel like I'm so school so foreign now. And I'm terrified. I'm really scared that, like, I'm going to go into it and I'm not going to be able to adjust. A, that I'm not going to like it. B, but I'm pretty sure I am going to like it because of right now, like, all of a sudden I want to get this degree. And that's the thing with me personally. If I care about something, I go 150%. If I don't care, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't put any attention to it. It's a great trait, but it's also a really horrible trait because I do admire those people that can just do things whether or not they like it. I think that's a great trait, to be honest with you. Obviously, mine, like, the way I live is kind of like, I think a lot of people see it as either A, like, oh my, like, the comment, like, you're so ambitious, like, it's so brave. Like, some people can see it as that. But, like, it takes a lot to be brave. Like, it takes a lot to just, like, do what you want to do. It sounds so simple. And when I say it to other people, like, I realize it sounds so simple, but it's really difficult to do. Besides the point, I'm rambling on. But, yeah, I'm terrified to go back to school. I'm terrified. But I just know. Like, I know January 2022, like, I know for a fact that I want to be in school doing my thing. And thriving. Hopefully I'm thriving in school. Like, I really hope that I thrive. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Because as I've said, I'm loving my life right now. Like, I feel so content, so alive every day. I wake up in the morning feeling so good. Thankfully, it hasn't always been that way once again. But, like, I just can't. Oh my gosh. If I think about it too much, it's not a good thing either. Lunch break. Neither Naya says, that's actually exactly what I needed to hear right now as I'm sitting here procrastinating what I need to do. Do the thing you need to do. But at the same time, live your life. Anyways, so yeah. So with that being said, I started thinking about YouTube and where I want to take my channel and what I want to do. And because I never wanted to, like, say that I dropped out of school, like I never wanted to make that like an aspect of my channel. I never wanted to reveal that to y'all. Not that I was ashamed, but I just, once again, I didn't want to promote that. Um, I felt like I unknowingly was making videos with like this wall. Like, although like I feel like my videos are like fun and deep sometimes, I was making videos like with a wall. And I was thinking, if I was a viewer and I was watching my videos, I would feel like I don't actually know this girl. Like I don't know who this girl is. I don't know what she does with her life. I don't know what her interests are. Like I just don't know this girl. Like sure, she's like doing all these different things. Like I don't actually know who this person is. And a big reason of why I started YouTube is because I wanted to create community. That was like my number one passion. That's why I wanted to start. I want to create community. That's like the thing that's been in my brain forever. Create community. And then all of a sudden it kind of slapped me in the face. I was like, yeah, you want to create community, Kristine, but all your content, all your videos, they aren't really creating any form of community because all you're making is kind of like this surface level ass stuff that how can community really be created if you're just making surface level ass stuff? Your girl came to a realization. I didn't really realize that at the time. And I know it's like really, really weird to say, but like it's true. Like I didn't realize that I was making this surface level ass stuff, and all of a sudden I realized it. And so I was like, oh my gosh, what the frick have I been doing? Like I felt so ridiculous. I was like, why have I been doing this? Like that's so dumb. Like why have I been doing this? Like that's not the goal. Like I know my goal, right? I know my goal. I want to create community. But why have all this time, I've been on YouTube for I don't even know how long at this point, and I have not been doing basically anything to getting to that goal. I had a little bit of time like a couple months ago where like I kind of started incorporating it, but when I dropped out of high school, I think once again my wall came back up of like I don't want to share this, and it was a big part of my life, and so that kind of boarded all of my videos up to not really showing my life. And I was like, what the frick, man? Like frick. Like how have I been doing this? How like actually though, like how have I been doing this? Anyways, with that being said, I was like, okay. I literally was so close. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was so close to being like, frick, let's start a new channel. Let's start a new channel because this is ridiculous. I can't believe I've been doing this. I'm not gonna start a new channel. That was just me being spur of the moment dumb. But I'm staying on the channel. Your girl's here. It's time, y'all. It's time, y'all, forever. Anyways, I was like, okay, your girl's pivoting. I want to make more videos that actually pertain to my life, and that now that y'all have the real ones know a major chunk of my life for the past like year and a half, you know, if you want to recap the story, your girl kind of did online school for 11th and 12th grade, but she barely even did any classes because she was really unhappy. And then, and then around, I continued doing school. The people around me graduated. I still hadn't graduated yet. Around June of 2020, I sat down with my mother and had a chat saying that I was unhappy. I didn't want to be in school. And so I mentally completely checked out of school, didn't even think about it until about November of 2020. That's when my school kind of hit me up and was like, yo, what's going on? You're not doing your classes. And I was like, yeah, I'm withdrawing from school. So I withdrew from school. Ever since November 2020, I basically have cut school, like school's actually completely gone. Now we're in April, basically almost May of 2021. Your girl wants to go back to school and wants to pursue a career, or not a career, but like a degree in political science. And now I'm also here, wanting to open myself up to y'all, showing more of my actual life and not just surface level ass stuff. Okay. Okay. yeah, like and with that being said, you might be like, okay, what does that mean? I This channel grew because I did a bunch of fitness challenges, and at this point, like, I love fitness, y'all maybe have noticed I'm posting like fitness vlogs here and there because fitness has recently become a part of my life. And I kind of make these separate vlogs that I used to do, or I still kind of plan to do. It's not completely checked out of my brain, but I would do like small YouTube vlogs talking about all things about being like a small YouTube creative, and like I talked about monetization, like whatever, brand situation, whatever. I started doing fitness vlogs because I want to, do things all about fitness. And so I was like, you know what? I want to share my life now that this major part of I just felt like it was obviously I could have continued going forward without sharing with y'all that without sharing like the whole school situation, but it didn't feel right in my heart. Like it just felt weirdly, really, really weird. And I also didn't want to like make it a full video because that hella intimidated me. That like made me feel really overwhelmed. So I was like, let's just hop on a live stream. The people that watch this, the people that know the info, the people that know that got the beans, they're the real ones. They got it and they'll know. And maybe later on, like in a couple months or so, when I feel more comfortable with it, I'll maybe like talk about being a high school dropout, how it's been, what it's like, what it's actually like later on. But I just don't feel like that's what I want to make right now. I want to make stuff that's more vlogs, that's like my life, like my actual life, not just like little snippet moments like I do. Like I make vlogs, but they're just kind of like moment from here, moment from there. Like you could be watching, like it literally in my vlog, you could be watching 4 different people. Because that's how there's no actual genuine connection in my vlogs, which is really sad, but at least I realize that now. Better late than never. Point being, there's gonna be more vlogs, more day-to-day stuff, more like random ass stuff. I guess maybe I'll take y'all along to how a freaking high school dropout gets into college. Let's hope I get into college. That's another thing. Let's hope I get into college. See, there are just different things that you don't think about as someone who just does things off passion, and I don't want to say impulse, but like is so passion driven. If I'm not passionate about it, I don't do it. If I am passionate about it, I do it. Is you don't necessarily think of the logistics of any of it. You just know that you want to do it. You focus on knowing that you want to do it, and so you go out and do it. And you figure it out as you go. Once again, it's a good or bad thing. But yeah. Thanks for listening, y'all. Thanks for being here with me. I'm gonna check out. I'm just happy that I was able to talk and chat and just ramble on and on and on and on. And I don't even have to edit this. Like, that's just so great. Thanks for just being here, y'all. Thanks to freaking everyone that popped in and out. Yeah. If y'all have any like what am I saying? If y'all have any like video ideas for me, like video concepts that you think would be like really good for me to implement, please put it in the chat or like comment it. I think you can comment on live streams or something like that. I don't know. But please help your girl out. At the same time, I hope y'all enjoyed this little live stream, and yeah. Thanks for showing up. This is the thing about live streams. You don't want to end them. Like, you literally just don't want to end them. But I've been talking for almost an hour, so I should probably let y'all move on with your lives, you know? Anyways, I guess I'll say bye. Farewell to you all. A video will be up. What day is it today? Wednesday? Thursday. What day is it today? Wednesday? I think today's Wednesday. Wednesday. A new video will be up tomorrow. Thursday at some point in time. Go check it out. And new podcast episode will be live on Monday at 9 a.m. Super fun things. Oh, also on the podcast episode, if you also want to comment like different chatty topics, I just want to have a fun episode where I just chat about different topics and not just one topic. So if you have any topics about what I could chat about on the podcast, let me know. Comment them on this little live stream. Anyways, thanks for joining me, y'all. I really appreciate it so much. Sorry if the content kind of pivots, kind of changes, but that's just life. That's life, okay? That's how life is gonna work. Thanks, y'all, for being here. I appreciate y'all. I'm actually gonna be logging out, okay? I'm actually gonna be saying ta-ta, goodbye, sayonara. Alrighty, sayonara, y'all. See you later.